week's income from the sponsors has cleared, and we're making good profit against our running costs.
Thank you, Jeff, for the info. And yep, welcome back to the channel. And today it is going to be the Monaco Grand Prix. And before that, let me just fill in the activity chart. And it's always a horror show for me. And yeah, for that, I'll go with the team building because overall it was boosting the 10% of overall my department. And the driver promotion filming was giving me a driver boost acclaim and the sponsor advertisement of vehicle as well with a bit of cash, and we have some actually cash in our hand. And there was a drag reduction failure, so that was a bit minor upgrade, but yeah, so we have to use our resource points in that, and we'll be getting ready by Wednesday of 20th. So yeah, that's it. I was out of the resource points and the cash which was in our hand. I thought of going with resource point generation. That was like 2 million. And I got to know that this game, I mean, the resource point generation is a bit overpowered. So I'll try not to use it again. And yes, if I talk about the drivers market, 2 million is the value of Korea. Let's see what is there in this particular weekend because we are always struggling in the Monaco Grand Prix. So although we are getting good money from our sponsors and some running costs getting deducted. But yeah, let's see what's there. And there is some good news from Honda because they have provided us with some free upgrades in the power department. So that'll be beneficial. And yes, this is the practice one of the Monaco Grand Prix. The best and the worst circuit for me on this calendar. Let's see what we can do. Hello there, Sergio. Here I am completing the track acclimatization, and indeed it was good, but overall there was nothing I could achieve in practice one because I don't know, the car was wrong or the car settings were wrong. What was wrong? So eventually, as you can see, I am P22 and behind everybody, with a lot of changes needs to be done. Yeps.
Bottas, Hamilton, and Max Verstappen.
Good day today.
No, it wasn't actually. The practice one actually wasn't good.
Competition is for you this season.
It's been good right now. I am in the back markers, so yeah.
You left a lot of paint on the walls today. Were you struggling for grip, or did you
I mean,
just
basically,
miss
this
the
car
touch
is
from
not made for
corners?
this track, or maybe I am not the good driver. So yeah, for this particular track, I am always
Appreciate your
struggling.
time.
And practice 2, it is raining in Monaco. So, and as you can see, every objective I have failed. So that because I seriously don't know what was wrong with me on this particular track or why I was not performing here, and even I was just losing the control every single time, and this rain making things difficult for me. And as you can see, the delta, I'm like 4 seconds behind the delta, so I could not do anything out of that. And yep, I was just hoping that the rain would be stopping, and but yeah, I had to made the changes. If you can see, I just made some changes in the setup. If you want to look at the setup, you can just ask me. I'll make some videos for each and every track. But eventually, after the rain stopped, I had really good pace. This was the best lap I could do, and I had completed one of the objective as well. So that is something good, and I was on what that was qualifying pace. I was doing, yeah, that is qualifying pace, much ahead of the delta. And yes, indeed, I did completed it, although by just a margin.
Practice program over. That's all we need for now.
We're in for an exceptional
And yes, I
weekend
was
of Formula One.
P18, but as you can see, Korea in the same car was like P13 and 2 seconds ahead of me as well. So not looking good overall. And that is practice over for us. Let's jump to the qualifying session. I mean, after the practice 2 and 3, I was hoping to do much better. And I don't know what questions they are asking me, but maybe how worse I can do on this track. And yes, here I am doing lap 2 or 3, out for lap 2 or 3 was not good. I was P20, so I lost a lot of time there. And then on lap 3 I am, as you can see, the countdown is like 12 seconds only remaining, and I was struggling for the time because in the last moment I forgot to change the tire to a fresh tire. So eventually I did manage to surpass that, and yes, qualifying was completed. I guess I was the last one who was on the flying lap, and I was hoping to do much better because the pace was good. The setup which I have just made was looking pretty good, and all the sector 1 was in red. I could not improve in that sector, but then the delta was showing me some positive signs as well. So in the sector 2 I start getting some time on the straights as well, so that is looking good on the pace. But the main thing was, can we make it out of Q1? But as of the pace I was getting from the car, I was hoping to get something because I was already 1 second up of my delta. I don't know if the delta was showing me the right thing or not, and then I gained a lot of time in this one corner, so that was like 2 seconds, just a second in a single corner. Now I am hoping if I can make it out of Q1, but let's see what is the result. And that put us to P17. Great, that is something I was not expecting. So P17, even ahead of Korea. So Korea ended up on P22. I don't know why he was P22, because he didn't went for his last lap, and with Sainz as well on the same hand. So in the rivalry, there is nothing Latifi could do. And yep, looking good overall. We're getting good team acclaim as well.
Formula One returns to Monte Carlo once again today, home to the world-famous Monte Carlo Casino, first opened in 1863. And, of course, a certain road race, first held here in 1929. There's no greater an occasion, no more valuable a win than the Monaco Grand Prix. We're on the French Riviera once more this weekend at the 2-mile-long Circuit de Monaco. The cars will climb around 40 metres up the hill, past the casino, and then descend downwards towards the harbour through Sector 2. It's a very short run from pole position to the first of the 19 corners at Saint-Devote. And don't expect to see much overtaking here today. Also here, of course, is Anthony Davidson. So, let's start with Lance Stroll. Looks like they've got a tough race in store today, as grid penalties from changing power unit components has forced them further down the field.
But on the bright side, at least those fresh components can help them maintain the power they need to come through the pack. I expect to see them take a more aggressive approach today to make up for the compromised start.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Vettel, Max Verstappen and Ricciardo, Perez, Ocon, Raikkonen and Alexander Albon, Norris, Kvyat, Kevin Magnussen and Giovinazzi, Russell, Rowan, Lance Stroll, they've taken a grid penalty, and Roman Grosjean, Sainz, Gasly, Latifi and Juan Manuel Correa. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today?
And Jeff is missing again, and now finally it's a race J in the Monaco Grand Prix. And I am hoping that I would not be holding the people behind me, but yeah, the strategy was to go for the hards in the stint 1 just to make sure that we are holding them in the end, because there will be no pace. I know that I am not good at Monaco, so there's no thing. And there are the 5 red lights, rich fuel mix, and here we go with George Russell on P15. Here I am looking good, have overtaken George Russell as well, and with Giovinazzi there in front of me, and just trying to make sure that we are not making any contact with either George Russell or Giovinazzi. And yes, indeed, we did made a good move over George Russell in the first corner only. So that puts up to P15, gained a place in the starting of the race. So yes, I was looking good. I am looking at the pace on the straights as well. So here are people on the back, people who are just fighting for the position. I have already started losing some time to Giovinazzi. So that is not looking good, and with George Russell is just behind us trying to make a move on us, and we are trying to cover him off on this chicane. So yes, indeed we did manage to cover him off, but I don't think so that we'll be able to defend George Russell in the Williams. I don't know how. I mean, he became so fast. Maybe after the upgrade came out for the drivers. I mean, there was an upgrade of drivers which boosted or just corrected their stats. So I guess because of that, George Russell was performing good, and indeed, and there is a slip. I was sliding on the corner, try to defend him off, but I don't think so George Russell would be stopping. And yes, indeed, I took the inside line and got a warning for the same thing, but if I would haven't done that, then I would have lost a lot of position. And there are the people behind him as well. That I guess is Lance Stroll in the racing point, who is fighting for the position or the George Russell. So here I am from the top view, and yes, this is the slowest part and the part where I eventually lose a lot of time. So I mean, in this circuit I am not so good, because as you can see already, the people who are ahead of me, maybe Giovinazzi, Magnussen, they have already started gaining on me a lot. And the pace which George Russell is having right now, I don't think I would be able to manage to just defend him off for this particular DRS zone. And eventually, yes,
DRS is being enabled this time.
he did manage to pass us, so there was no counter for him. I was not having any counter for him, and eventually we have to let him go. So that is how the Williams driver is performing, and my eyes will be surely on him for this transfer market. I have to try to save some money for him, just to make sure that we are completing a good move in the driver market. And I am slowing everyone down. I mean, people behind me, they are getting slowed down because of me. I accept that. Lance Stroll trying to make a move on me, trying to defend him off as much as possible. And behind him is, I guess, Pierre Gasly, who is trying to make a move on Lance Stroll as well. And indeed, he did manage to pass Lance Stroll on the chicane. So a good move from Pierre Gasly upon Lance Stroll. And here I am looking not so good on the corners exit,
Gap to
and
car in front is 3.8 seconds.
that is showing me to George Russell. But if I talk about Giovinazzi, it's already 11 seconds. So, and here Gasly is trying to make a move on me from the behind, and I can see him in my mirrors, and he is trying to make a move, and there is a bit of contact, and I guess Gasly did lose a bit of his front wing due to that move. But I guess that will allow me to slow him down a bit, but I don't think so that he is slowing down, because he is just behind me and trying to catch me. I don't know why, because I guess because this circuit is not the one with great pace. And here is Pierre Gasly just with a broken wing, and here he is trying to catch me upon on the inside, but have to shut the door. I don't know why every person is having a greater pace to me, but eventually this circuit is another circuit where if you are ahead of us, there are really very small places where the person can overtake. So I was not so much afraid, but the main thing is I was slowing every person who are behind me. So with this pace, I mean, I won't be losing so much places, but the main thing will be when we will be having to pit. And with the
Gap to
hards,
the car ahead is 9.9 seconds.
yes, and with the hards which I am having, so I guess we will be pitting on lap 20, and by then the people who would have already pitted, and again Gasly is in my mirrors trying to make a move on us. Yes, so by the time the people who will be pitting early, they will surely getting ahead of me. That I know. Because, and now Pierre Gasly is just behind me, and he is side by side with me, and here is the view from the camera of Lance Stroll, and eventually Lance Stroll again made a move on Pierre Gasly. So I am slowing them down, and due to which I am gaining some time. I mean, like I have gained 1.5 seconds, and due to that, because here as you can see the replay, Gasly and Lance Stroll are still fighting for the position, and they are not giving each other any space, and there is a bit of touching as well. And let's see who will end up in front, and they are on the Rascas corner. And yes, indeed, there is Pierre Gasly who went ahead and he did snatch the position. And as you can see, I am already 3 seconds ahead of Gasly and Stroll due to the
Okay, you're
fight.
creating some breathing space between you and the car behind by a few seconds per lap.
Finally some good news for me, but I think Gasly will be trying to cut down the space and the time, because as you know, I am not a good driver on this circuit. I don't know
Okay,
why.
gap ahead is 18.9 seconds.
Man, Giovinazzi and every other person, they are just getting ahead of me. So there's like rarely any chance I can even catch any of them. So the strategy is simple. Hold the people who are in the back of me. And yep, tires are looking okay
At the moment, the
till now.
car behind us is lapping faster than us by around 1 second per lap.
And yes, there is Gasly who is trying to find a way, and there is Lance Stroll as well in my mirrors. Both of them are just trying to dive down by any chance, but the circuit is not allowing them to do that. So they are trying their level best, and I'm just holding them back. I am feeling bad for them, and I'm just losing. I just lost a bit of my control of the car, man. They're just giving too much or just trying to defend from them. And yes, I am, and here is Gasly trying to overtake me on this end, but I did cover up the chicane. I did cover up the corner.
Raikkonen is in the pits.
Raikkonen is in the pits, but as you can see, there is like no chance we can even catch him, because when the time will be coming on the last corner, he is already out of the pits. He is already out of the pits, so there was nothing I could do. So I am not fighting with Raikkonen, I am fighting with only the people who are behind me, just to save the position which I am having right now. I mean, I don't know why I'm not so good in the circuit where it is a bit closed, I'll say, where there is no open area. And here is Gasly trying to dive down the outside, and I will try to cover him off, and I did manage to do that as well. And I guess with that, Stroll will also be looking to... Oh, there was a bit of contact made by Gasly. That's the reason I
The
just
gap
left.
to the car ahead is 18.5 seconds.
I don't think so there is any point of even telling me, because I am already losing a lot of pace. I am just struggling. But yep, people behind me, I was sometimes good in some corners, but in some of the part of the circuit I was losing a lot of time. And I can see some blue flags as well. So I guess some front runners, they are already catching us. So I am holding the people likes of Gasly, Grosjean. As you can see, there is the likes of Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas, who are the front runner and the leading
Approaching
packs.
the pit window, you'll be on the mediums.
Not giving the best as of now, so it is the right time to change the size. And here is Gasly again trying to make a move, and I am trying to defend him off. I don't know what will happen, man. Blue flags finally. So there are blue flags, and behind me there is Korea and Sainz, who are fighting for the position on the hairpin, and due to that there was a bit of yellow flags, and as you will be able to see a green flag waving
Racing
off.
the car behind. Let
And
them pass when you
finally,
can.
it is time for Valtteri Bottas and Lewis Hamilton. And it's Verstappen. What? I was not expecting him. Okay, so Verstappen is going into the pits, and behind me is Bottas, yeah. And here I am with the Alpha Tauris trying to dive down the inside, because the Alpha Tauri already did overtake me. And there you can see a lot of cars. There you can see the Charles Leclerc trying to make a move on the back markers. So because of us, or because of me, I was, and there you can see the people who were behind me are in
Boxing this
pits.
lap gap to teammate behind is 2.1 seconds.
So this will finally decide where I will end up. So the pace in the last lap was not good at all, as you can see. And now the time is there that Latifi, at least we should be ahead of Latifi, and my main focus was was on Latifi, and
Exit now.
our team
Racing
did
on
a
the
good
exit.
job.
Go now.
So another 2.1 second, and I will be
After
ahead
these
of
tyres
Latifi as
now,
well.
we want to finish the race on this compound.
No issues as of that. And what will be our final position? That is P19, I guess. Yes, indeed it is P19. So Grosjean is ahead of me, he did win ahead of us because we lost a lot of time, and Carlos Sainz is now behind us. So Carlos Sainz in his McLaren, he won't be slowing down, I guess. And the much I know, okay, I just went a bit on the curb. Again,
Manuel is coming in for his stop.
no, it's his first stop only. So yeah, as he is entering the pits, and we will be easily be able to catch him and overtake his position by P18. So I hope so that we can end up finishing at least P18, because I'll try not to give the space. And there is Korea coming out of the pits, and yes, indeed we did manage to take him, but he is on the inside line and we both are fighting. So almost Korea would have overtaken us.
6.2 seconds.
So giving the best lap on these mediums, so that is a good thing. And Korea is behind me, so that is good. That is something good. So, and there is the Latifi and Korea fighting for the position as well. And team again, I was not expecting.
Manuel is in the pits. Juan Manuel in the pits.
He is again in the pits, and maybe there is a bit of contact. And the what I remember is he made a bit of contact with Charles Leclerc, and here is Latifi coming on the outside trying to cover me off, and there is a bit of contact, but I don't think there is a bit any damage or so. But Latifi in his Williams is also looking very pacey on this particular circuit, and maybe I'm the person who is looking very slow, or I am really slow on this circuit. So as of now, there is nothing I would be able to do. And yes, Latifi, Gasly, I am, and as you can see, I have put my personal best of 117 on the medium, so I was looking good on the pace. And yes, as you can see again, the the people in the front are already coming, so there will be again a blue flag. Yes, indeed,
flag,
it is a blue flag. So I am missing Sebastian Vettel. Blue flag, everyone is there. Even the likes of Raikkonen, man, come on. Everyone, I guess. Norris, even P11. I mean, I am letting them by, because people who are in front of me, they are overtaking us, so there is no chance. Warning with collision, I don't know what. Let's see what will happen. I don't think that there was any type of collision.
16.9 seconds.
16.9 seconds. The worst performance from Racing India. And here is Latifi. No, is it Latifi? Yes, indeed it is Latifi. And I did manage to take the inside line to cover him off, and still managing to defend him from the position. And yes, there is Alpha Tauri.
Create a gap and let the car
And that is Jenny Kvyat. Okay, that was Jenny Kvyat. And I am holding his teammate behind me. So, I don't know how many times I have to let them pass, because P14, Kvyat is P14. I mean, yes, I try to check. I mean, P14 is Kvyat, Russell, Stroll, and Haas of Romain Grosjean. So I guess all of them will be able to pass me. At least till Russell. So, yep, I was waiting for George Russell to come, and yes, there he is, George Russell, who I did allow to pass. And behind me is Valtteri Bottas as well. So Valtteri Bottas has overtaken George Russell. He will overtake him, and I have to give space to George Russell as well. So that is George Russell down 1 lap to Valtteri Bottas, and we are 2 laps down. So nothing is looking good for the back markers, and because I'm the person who is holding all of them. So that is true. I accept it. I am not good on this circuit, even with the likes of, I mean, even if you can give me any good car, I won't be able to do much better. So the main strategy that was to qualify, and there I just hit on the inside. I have to be careful. And there, at least just there was no damage. And there is Carlos Sainz, who is trying to make a move on us, and we are neck to neck with him. And I have the racing line, and indeed I did manage to defend Carlos Sainz on lap 30, and teammate is again in the pits. Come on, what is wrong with Korea? I mean, he has made, and there is, I guess, Charles Leclerc or Sebastian Vettel. I guess that is Charles Leclerc, so he has already managed to overtake Carlos Sainz, and I'm just giving space to him. Yes, indeed it is Leclerc. So he went past us. He is P3 as of now. So, and which allow Carlos Sainz to gain some place, and he will try to make a move, and I try to drive down, and there's a bit of contact made by, a bit of tire touching. So yes, a flick, and yes, indeed we are on lap 32 on P18 with Carlos Sainz just behind me, trying to make every damn move on every single lap. I'm just trying to cover him off, I'm trying to hold him off, and yes, I try to show some pace as well, so just to make sure that I am not letting him go. So to be true, I am not good on the circuits like this. The closed circuits, maybe that might be Monaco or the likes of Singapore. So there I feel not so much confident, because there is chances where I could touch the sideboards or anything like that and end up losing the race. So in the DNF, I seriously don't want a DNF in the races. So that's it. I was not good. I was not looking good at all. I was just trying to manage to defend him off on lap 37. It will start starting of lap 37, and yep, Carlos Sainz trying his best. Again, it's a blue flag, and again Carlos Sainz is not giving me. He's just trying too hard, and we could both end up in the DNF. So I guess Carlos Sainz should slow down a bit. And yep, lap 37. I guess this is the one of the lap where we will be ending the race, because we are already 2 laps down, and here it is Valtteri Bottas, and behind him will be, that is Lewis Hamilton, and yes, they are the winners, both the Mercedes, and that is the P3's Charles Leclerc. So blue flag again. I won't be giving space to them here, at least not now. Almost it's the end of the race, and we ended up P18. So that's it. That is it. The worst race, not in the terms of the position, but
I feel like consistency was probably the key today.
That is one of those races where I just was not good. I am never good on Monaco. I am never good. And Mercedes showing their dominance. They are like hugely. Okay, so I just want to see. Okay, so from Kimi Raikkonen, it's like plus 1 lap. Okay, so even the front runners, they are like too fast, and after me, all the people are plus 2 laps. And Korea went for 3 stops. I don't know why. And yep, but in the rivalry, we are ahead of Nicholas Latifi. 2 races are remaining, and we will march ahead of him by next race, and we are getting some acclaim as well, and some good amount of cash as well, and there was a bit of damage, and we will having some deduction as well. But the worst week is over. Next week is the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, and I am good at that circuit, so don't worry. So we will try our best. And if you like this video, then subscribe to my YouTube channel, and yep, I will meet you next time.